Am I showing these qualities or just hoping she notices? Comment below which type you think you naturally are and stay with me to discover all 7. You don't want to miss the next one. It changes everything. Confidence is one of the most magnetic qualities a man can have, and it's something older women notice immediately, even if they don't say it out loud. This isn't about having a perfect body, the latest clothes, or a fancy car. That's surface level, and women who have lived longer know that surface appeal fades. What really matters is the quiet assurance in the way a man carries himself, the way he makes decisions, and the way he interacts with the world. Confidence is about knowing who you are, owning your choices, and being comfortable in your own skin. Think about it this way. Older women have seen a lot in life. They've experienced relationships where men tried too hard to impress or overcompensated for insecurities. They can spot a man pretending to be confident from a mile away, and it doesn't attract them, it repels them. True confidence, on the other hand, is subtle. It doesn't need constant validation. A confident man doesn't try to dominate a conversation or show off. He speaks with purpose, listens without judgment, and acts decisively. He's not rigid, but he's unwavering in his sense of self. Confidence also shows through actions. It's in the way he pursues his goals, how he handles challenges, and even how he treats people around him. It's not flashy. It's consistent, calm, and authentic. Older women are drawn to men who can maintain that grounded energy. They notice when a man can walk into a room and be fully present without needing approval from anyone, because that sense of inner strength signals safety, maturity, and reliability. Another aspect is the courage to be imperfect. Confidence doesn't mean you're flawless. It means you are comfortable with your flaws. It's about admitting mistakes, learning from them, and moving forward without shame. Older women respect this because they themselves have grown past superficial judgments. They know life is messy, and the man who can navigate it with poise, self-awareness, and humility is someone worth being around. Ultimately, confidence is magnetic because it creates a sense of security. Older women are attracted to men who feel like they can handle life without being shaken by small challenges or drama. It's not arrogance, it's quiet strength. And the incredible thing is, confidence is a quality you can cultivate. It's not something you're born with. By showing up, being consistent, and trusting yourself, you naturally become the kind of man older women can't help but notice, even if they'll never openly admit it. Emotional intelligence is one of the silent superpowers that older women notice immediately, even if they never say it out loud. It's not about being perfect with your emotions or never feeling upset. It's about understanding your feelings, managing them, and responding to others in a thoughtful way. Women who have lived through life's ups and downs have developed a strong sense of emotional awareness themselves. They can sense when a man is reactive, insecure, or emotionally unavailable, and that tends to push them away. What they secretly desire is a man who can navigate emotions calmly, handle tension without panic, and respond to life with thoughtful presence. Think about conversations. An emotionally intelligent man listens, really listens, without planning a clever comeback or trying to dominate the discussion. He notices subtle cues, tone of voice, facial expressions, energy shifts, and adjusts naturally. He doesn't dismiss feelings as overreactions or try to fix everything immediately. Instead, he validates emotions while offering perspective or calm guidance. Older women recognize this immediately because it's rare. Most men, consciously or unconsciously, react from their ego, needing to prove themselves or solve problems too quickly. Emotional intelligence, by contrast, creates connection, trust, and a sense of safety. It's also about self-awareness. An emotionally intelligent man knows what triggers him, understands his patterns, and takes responsibility for his behavior. He doesn't blame others or external circumstances for how he feels. This kind of self-mastery is incredibly attractive because it signals maturity and reliability. Older women, having experienced relationships with men who lack lack this awareness are drawn to those who can remain grounded under stress. They sense stability in a man who can feel deeply yet not be ruled by fleeting moods or insecurities. Another critical component is empathy. The ability to understand and genuinely care about someone else's perspective is magnetic. Emotional intelligence allows a man to connect on a deeper level than surface level charm ever could. He doesn't just hear her words, he understands her fears, desires, and unspoken needs. That kind of connection feels rare and precious, especially to women who have spent years navigating relationships where such empathy was missing. Finally, emotional intelligence is not just about how a man treats others, it's also about how he treats himself. Older women are attracted to men who care for their own mental and emotional well-being, who set boundaries when necessary, and who can manage stress without drama. This combination of self-awareness, empathy, and calm responsiveness creates a magnetic energy that draws women in silently but powerfully. In other words, emotional intelligence is the hidden language of attraction, subtle yet far more compelling than appearances, charm, or fleeting gestures. Independence is one of the most quietly magnetic qualities a man can have, especially in the eyes of older women. But let's be clear, this doesn't mean being distant or emotionally unavailable. Independence is about having your own life, your own passions, and your own goals, without relying on anyone else for validation or purpose. Older women have been through relationships where men were overly dependent, needy, or passive, and they've learned that such reliance often leads to imbalance and frustration. What they secretly desire is a man who can stand on his own 2 feet while still choosing to include them in his life. An independent man doesn't constantly seek permission or approval. He makes decisions confidently and takes responsibility for the outcomes, whether they're successes or failures. This is incredibly attractive because it signals maturity, stability, and strength. Older women who have experienced life's ups and downs recognize that a man who can operate autonomously is far more likely to handle challenges calmly and thoughtfully. He's someone who brings his whole self to a relationship rather than seeking to fill a void or escape his own insecurities. Independence also shows through personal pursuits. A man who has his own hobbies, interests, and ambitions is naturally magnetic because he's constantly growing and evolving. He doesn't rely on someone else to define his happiness or provide meaning. He creates it himself. This self-sufficiency allows for a deeper connection because he comes into the relationship as a whole person, rather than expecting a partner to complete him. Older women notice this instinctively. They've lived long enough to understand that a man who is anchored in his own life brings energy, curiosity, and excitement rather than tension or neediness. Another key aspect is emotional independence. An independent man is in touch with his feelings but doesn't let them control him. He can process emotions without offloading every challenge onto his partner. He's capable of empathy and support, but he doesn't make someone else responsible for his mood or happiness. This creates a sense of safety and balance, which is incredibly appealing to women who have spent time navigating relationships with men who lacked emotional self-reliance. Ultimately, independence is a signal of self-respect. It communicates that a man values himself, his time, and his life enough to invest in growth and purpose. Older women are drawn to men who are leaders in their own lives, who are confident enough to stand alone but willing to share that life with someone they respect. It's this balance of autonomy and openness that makes a man truly magnetic, someone who can be present in a relationship without losing himself, someone who chooses to be with a woman because he wants to, not because he needs to. Playful curiosity is one of those rare qualities that older women find secretly irresistible, even if they rarely admit it. It's not about being childish or silly, it's about having a genuine interest in life, people, and experiences, and being willing to engage with them in a light, thoughtful, and exciting way. Older women have seen enough of the world to know that life can become routine, predictable, and even a little dull. They crave a man who can make life feel stimulating, where every conversation, every shared experience has a spark of intrigue and engagement. A man with playful curiosity approaches life with wonder and humor. He asks questions not to manipulate, impress, or control, but because he genuinely wants to understand the world and the people in it. He notices details, remembers small things about people, and follows them with authentic interest. This is incredibly attractive because it signals attentiveness and intelligence. Older women are drawn to men who can make them feel seen, heard, and valued. Not through grand gestures, but through the simple magic of engaged presence and interest. Playful curiosity also shows in how a man interacts with challenges or new situations. Instead of retreating when faced with the unknown, he approaches it with a mindset of exploration and learning. He's not afraid to take risks, try new things, or laugh at himself when things don't go perfectly. This energy is magnetic because it contrasts sharply with men who are rigid, overly serious, or stuck in comfort zones. Older women sense that a man who embraces life with curiosity is someone who can bring excitement and freshness into a relationship without relying on drama or artificial tension. Another aspect is the ability to tease lightly and engage in mental play. This isn't about manipulation, it's about sparking connection and tension in a healthy, playful way. A man with curiosity can challenge her ideas gently, make her think, and invite her to explore perspectives she hadn't considered. He keeps the relationship dynamic and alive, which older women find incredibly attractive because it stimulates both their minds and emotions. Ultimately, playful curiosity is about vitality and engagement with life. It shows that a man is not stagnant, not complacent, and not overly self-absorbed. He brings energy, humor, and wonder into interactions, making women feel alive and inspired in his presence. Older women are drawn to men who can balance maturity with this sense of playful exploration because it signals intelligence, creativity, and emotional depth. In short, playful curiosity isn't just charming, it's a signal of a man who is fully present, fully alive, and fully capable of making life feel exciting, meaningful, and unforgettable. Stability and reliability are qualities that older women value far more than flashy charm or superficial appearances. Life experience teaches them that relationships built on excitement alone often crumble when challenges appear. What they secretly desire, even if they won't admit it, is a man who can remain steady when life gets messy, a man whose energy, decisions, and presence create a sense of safety and predictability. This isn't boring, it's profoundly magnetic. A man who is reliable signals that he can be trusted, that he can be counted on, and that he has the maturity to handle life's ups and downs with grace. Stability doesn't mean rigidity. It doesn't mean being inflexible or unadventurous. Instead, it's about being grounded, having emotional, mental, and practical composure in the face of challenges. An older woman can sense immediately whether a man can manage stress without overreacting or creating unnecessary drama. She notices when a man takes responsibility for his actions, keeps his commitments, and doesn't let chaos dictate his behavior. These qualities convey reliability and strength, and they are incredibly attractive because they provide a sense of security that goes beyond surface-level charm or casual confidence. Reliability also manifests in consistent behavior over time. It's in showing up when he says he will, following through on promises, and being someone whose word can be trusted. Older women, having been let down or disappointed in the past, instinctively notice these patterns. They are drawn to men who demonstrate integrity, not just in words, but in actions. This consistency creates trust, which forms the foundation for deeper emotional connection. Without it, attraction can feel fleeting, no matter how exciting the initial chemistry might be. Another dimension of stability is emotional resilience. Life is unpredictable and relationships are rarely smooth. A man who can maintain emotional equilibrium, communicate calmly during conflicts, and respond with thoughtfulness rather than impulsivity is highly desirable. Older women recognize that such a man can be a true partner, someone who can navigate difficulties without escalating tension, someone whose presence reassures rather than destabilizes. Ultimately, stability and reliability are signs of maturity and self-mastery. They communicate that a man has his life together in ways that matter, emotionally, practically, and mentally. These qualities quietly build attraction because they signal that he is not only capable of supporting himself, but is also capable of being a dependable partner. For older women who have experienced the unpredictability and inconsistency of immature relationships, a man with stability and reliability becomes magnetic, trustworthy, and silently irresistible, even if they'll never voice it aloud. Authenticity is one of those rare qualities that older women are instinctively drawn to, even if they never openly admit it. At its core, authenticity is about being real, showing up as yourself without masks, pretenses, or the need to impress others. Older women have seen enough life to recognize when someone is pretending, overcompensating, or trying to fit into a mold that isn't truly theirs. They are drawn to men who are genuine because authenticity signals self-awareness, confidence, and emotional maturity, qualities that are far more valuable than charm or appearances. Being authentic doesn't mean sharing every thought or feeling immediately. It means acting consistently with your values, expressing your true opinions respectfully, and making choices that reflect who you really are rather than what you think others expect of you. A man who is authentic doesn't try to be someone he's not to gain approval. He doesn't fake interest in things to impress her, or adopt behaviors that don't align with his personality. This honesty is magnetic because it demonstrates integrity and a sense of self. Older women who have lived through experiences with men who were inconsistent or insincere notice this immediately and are quietly captivated by it. Authenticity also includes the courage to be vulnerable. This doesn't mean oversharing or relying on someone else for emotional support, but it does mean showing that you are human, acknowledging your imperfections, your struggles, and your growth. Vulnerability communicates strength because it requires self-confidence and emotional resilience. Older women recognize that a man who can be open about himself without fear of judgment or rejection is someone they can trust and connect with on a deeper level. Another powerful aspect of authenticity is the refusal to play manipulative games. A man who is authentic doesn't try to create artificial tension, test emotions, or play hard to get to win affection. Instead, he communicates clearly, acts consistently, and respects both his own and others' boundaries. Older women find this incredibly attractive because it creates a sense of safety and clarity. They don't have to guess or decode hidden motives, which makes the connection feel natural and effortless. Ultimately, authenticity is a reflection of self-respect. It shows that a man values himself enough to present his true self and values others enough to be honest in his interactions. Older women are drawn to this quality because it signals depth, integrity, and emotional strength. Authenticity is magnetic because it fosters trust, connection, and genuine attraction, qualities that endure far longer than superficial charm or fleeting gestures. In essence, the authentic man doesn't need to try to impress. His real self is enough, and that is precisely what older women secretly desire. Vision and ambition are qualities that older women find quietly magnetic, even if they won't openly admit it. This isn't about having wealth, status, or a flashy career. It's about a man having a clear sense of direction, purpose, and the drive to create the life he wants. Older women have lived through enough experiences to recognize that aimless energy, uncertainty, or complacency in a man can be draining. What they secretly desire is a man who is actively building something meaningful, who is passionate about his goals, and who can inspire through his focus and determination. Vision and ambition are signals of a man's internal structure, his ability to dream, plan, and follow through, and that is incredibly attractive. A man with vision doesn't drift through life waiting for opportunities to come to him. He creates them. He has goals, aspirations, and a roadmap for where he wants to go, whether in his career, personal growth, or contribution to the world. This shows a deep level of self-respect and discipline. Older women notice this immediately because it signals that he has the capacity to handle challenges, stay committed under pressure, and build a life of value. Ambition without purpose can feel desperate or shallow, but when paired with vision, it becomes magnetic. A man who is intentional in his choices and consistent in his effort is irresistible to someone who appreciates maturity and depth. Vision and ambition also show through curiosity and the pursuit of growth. A man who is driven isn't just focused on material gains. He's expanding his skills, learning new things, and constantly evolving. This is incredibly appealing because older women are looking for partners who match their level of emotional, intellectual, and practical maturity. A man who is ambitious in meaningful ways creates an energy that pulls people in. He's not waiting to be motivated by others. His life has momentum, and he can include someone in that journey without relying on them for validation. Another key aspect is consistency in pursuing his goals. Ambition without follow-through is empty, but a man who consistently takes